black with a spider for a mama, Lord. Got a diamondback rattler for a paw. Well, I got me a woman down in New Orleans. Got a friend in Arkansas. Got a morning full of make-believe. Got an evening full of time. I got the hands for the lady gonna make you grieve. Loving gonna make you mine. Ain't never seen your town before, and I won't be back again. Oh, I need me a place to hide
Easy
my
Nation,
face
and welcome to the Darth Easy Show. So, guys, once again, thank you for joining me on another week of the Darth Easy Show. We have a very exciting week. TV has really picked up, but before we get to that, I need to throw up my political hat on just for a few minutes. And it's not really a political hat; it's more of a life hat. My thoughts and prayers go out to the victims of the recent attack on Sunday in Las Vegas. I mean, what more can we really say about this horrible thing that happened? Over 50 people got killed, over 200 people got injured on this incident, and this is just something that it just again and again and again. Crazy stuff like this happens over and over again, and until our government, our senators, and our president, Donald Trump, no matter how much I don't like him, he's still my president. He is the president of the United States. And someone's got to say, enough is enough of all this gun violence. Now, the guy who was eventually, the guy who they found dead, who did all the killing, yes, nothing could indicate that that we could have prevented this. But this, I don't understand. Whenever 9/11 happened, we made sure 9/11 never happened again. So we need, after last year when Orlando happened, we were like, all right, let's not let this happen again. And then less than a year later, we have this happen, even a bloodier scene happen. So let's make, if we can't, change won't happen unless we do something about it. It's a crazy world we're living in right now, but let's brighten up of our day by listening to the Darth Easy Show. All right, now that sourdough is out of the way, let's talk about the movies. This is everything going out in theaters and everything that I saw in the classic review of the week. First, we gotta talk about the movie of the week, and also the theme of the week. And all right, so one of the movies I saw this weekend was a movie, American Made, starring Tom Cruise, directed by Doug Liman. Doug Liman's a director I really, really like. I like his movies like the first Jason Bourne movie, Bourne Identity, which I think is the best of the series. And then, if you talk about outside of Bourne, I mean, he's done some other movies like Jumper. Say what you want about Jumper, but Jumper is a very guilty pleasure movie of mine. It's not a good movie, but it's a really dumb, stupid movie that I actually like watching. And then if we talk about a few years ago, his other collaboration with Tom Cruise, which was Edge of Tomorrow, which was one of the funnest action movies I had seen all that year. Was in my top 10 the year it came out. And so American Made, it's a true crime story about Barry Seal. He was a TWA pilot who gets himself cooperated with the CIA, who then helps build the Medellin cartel by helping him smuggle drugs across the border. It's a very, very interesting movie. First off, let's just talk about the performance of this movie. Tom Cruise does such a great job in this movie. I really like him in the movie. Tom Cruise is just an awesome actor. Anything he's in, I automatically go see it. I mean, sometimes they're not that great, like The Mummy this year, the other Tom Cruise movie that come out this year. But I'm always like, let's go see another Tom Cruise movie, and he's just one of the greatest movie stars probably of all time. And I really like the story. I like true crime stories. I think they're really, really interesting, and just some of the characters you see in this movie, it's very, very cool. And I enjoyed this movie. It's not the best kind of, if you kind of seen this movie before, and it was an interesting movie. Movie was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed this movie. Make sure you check my full review of American Made. It'll come out sometime before the weekend, maybe. I've been kind of getting lazy with reviews, to be honest with you. Now it's time to move on to my classic movie review. So this week, I reviewed the classic 1982 movie, Blade Runner. The original Blade Runner, which is a movie directed by Ridley Scott, starring Harrison Ford. It has some other actors in there like Edward James Olmos, otherwise known as Admiral Adama to me. And this is a story, it's basically it's kind of like a noir, the black and white noirs you used to see in old Hollywood, in a futuristic 2019 city. And it's a very, very interesting movie. Now, I had seen this movie before. I saw the movie back a couple years ago. My college, they had a little theater kind of experience for the original Blade Runner, this is the final cut, the version I watched. Apparently, there's like 3 versions. There's the theatrical cut, which was a movie that people absolutely hated. Then there's the director's cut. People liked it a little more. And then people say the final cut's a masterpiece. I won't go that far. I like the movie. I like some of the shots they do with it, some of the grittiness of the noir I really like. The movie does go a little slow at times, and that's just the category you're going with when you're tackling a noir style movie. I like Blade Runner. It's not a movie I'm gonna want to watch all the time, but the reason why I'm talking about this is because Blade Runner 2049 comes out this weekend, and that movie I cannot wait for. I don't know what it is, but I think a lot of it is Harrison Ford. He's basically coming back to reboot all of his franchises. He did it with Star Wars. He's doing it with Indiana Jones, and now he did it with Blade Runner. I'm really hoping Blade Runner 2049 is my favorite movie of the year because Denis Villeneuve, he's kind of becoming that Christopher Nolan for me, where every movie I see from him, I absolutely love. So, guys, make sure you check out. I'll talk a little more about Blade Runner at the end of the show. Alright, now it's time to move on to the TV segment. This is everything going on in the realm of television that I'm watching. So, first, we got to kick it off with the season premiere of a show, which a lot of people will always wonder why I keep watching it, and that is Survivor, season 35, episode 1. I'm not crazy. I'm confident. So this is basically, you got your basic season premiere of Survivor. No return players, no nothing really to talk about this episode. I don't know what's going to happen this season. It's cool to see a season with some new players, new blood. So the half season is not going to be as exciting as we're going to get to the mid-season. Of course, apparently Jeff Probst had already tweeted out that saying that the finale of the show is really good, which kind of makes me think we're going to get a really boring season this year on Survivor. And then just the finale is going to kind of make it worthwhile. So it's basically saying, hang in there, guys, it gets better. So, but some of the characters I like the cowboy character, I forget what his name is, and I like the bald-headed parole officer. Those are the standouts. Also like the nerdy guy on the, I can't remember the tribe. I think it was the Hustler tribe. He teams up with that one guy. Kind of reminded me of a little of a JT and Steven Fishback. I'm looking forward to watching more Survivor. It's always it's an easy show to watch. And now let's move on to the other show. This is Star Trek Discovery, Season 1, Episode 3. Context is for Kings. So this episode, I enjoyed it. Basically, you have Miranda. She is off to join the Night's Watch. Not really. She's a prisoner. They get caught by the ship called Discovery. They want to use her skills to better their mission. The Discovery was a science ship for the Federation. And you kind of have an evil admiral in there. You also have the weird alien guy that you saw in the pilot and the second episode. So this show's getting a little better. I'll be interested to watch more of it, but right now I can't really say for sure. I think I've given this show the 3-episode arc. Basically, my TV rule is you watch 3 episodes. If you don't like it, don't watch it anymore. I did that with Supergirl, even though with Supergirl I only made it 2 episodes, I'll be honest. So that ends my talk for Star Trek Discovery, and now we move on to Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, Season 4, Episode 25, Forensic Science. This episode we basically got John Oliver. He was talking about some stuff with Trump. I mean, there's always something to talk about with Trump, so I already talked about it at the beginning of the show. And it was a funny episode, but a lot funnier than the next show I'm getting ready to talk about. And that is The Big Bang Theory, Season 11, Episode 2, the Retraction. I found one thing funny in this entire episode, and that sucks. That just sucks. And basically, the episode was Leonard gets invited to a radio show about science. They invite Leonard. He talks about physics and how they haven't really proved anything. And everyone's freaking out. And Sheldon's like, oh, you're right. And then the only thing I found really funny about this episode was I found when Leonard said, oh man, physics just become like lost. It started off with such great potential, and now it's basically nothing. And I was like, I laughed for a good minute. That's like the only funny thing about this episode. So, Big Bang Theory, come on, get better or end it. It's not going to end because it's making too much money because CBS sucks. Alright, now it's moving on to the final show of the week, and that is The Gifted, Season 1, Episode 1, Exposed. Alright, so pilot review of The Gifted. This is a show this episode was actually directed by Bryan Singer. And it's basically your run-of-the-mill X-Men style show where you basically have this character, you have these family, they get outed as mutants. The Sentinel program is going after them to basically put them as prisoners. So, and you also have one girl who is Blink from the X-Men Days of Future Past movie. I think this movie takes place in the original X-Men timeline because you have the Sentinel program. The X-Men have kind of disappeared. So this could kind of bridge the gap between this to the timeline of X-Men Days of Future Past. Or it could not. I could be completely wrong about that. But as a pilot, I liked it. It didn't blow me away or anything. It kind of reminded me a little of Heroes, which the first season of Heroes was one of the best seasons of television I had ever seen. And we won't talk about the rest of it because, it makes me sad. So that really ends the week for TV, though I do have one more thing to talk about. So I just finished my watch through of Game of Thrones, and I have a whole watch list of shows I want to watch before the year's over with, and really just shows I want to watch in general. And I'll update you as I move along in these shows. So the show I just started watching was Legion. I just finished episode 1, and it's a very interesting show. I've heard people, it's kind of crazy, which I'm kind of into. I'll talk more about it as I progress through the show, but I really like it so far. Now it is time to move on to video games. This is everything going on in the relevant video games that I am playing. And the game I am playing right now is Pokemon Sun. Alright, so Pokemon Sun, I just beat the game. Well, I beat the game on Friday night. And this will be the last time I talk about Pokemon Sun because I'm only going to be talking about games that I just played and I beat for the first time because I'm probably going to replay Pokemon some of the games a few times, building some new teams. Anyways, I like what they did with Pokemon Sun. I like the RPG elements to it. I like that they did something different with the gyms. Instead of them being gyms, you had kahunas. And and I like the what they do after you beat the game. If you go back and fight in the Pokemon League, you basically whenever you become the champion again, you get a different challenger. So you don't play the same person all the time. So I kind of like that they did that different for this Pokemon game. Overall, I enjoyed Pokemon Sun. I wasn't crazy about the Pokemon. The graphics of the games keep getting better and better. I might be getting Ultra Moon or Ultra Sun. I might get Ultra Moon since I got Pokemon Sun, but I don't really know yet. I don't know if I'll get it, but I will. The next video game I'm going to buy is most likely going to be Call of Duty, World of War, whatever it's called. So stay tuned. I'll talk about that when it comes out. Alright, now it's time to move on to anime. This is everything going on in anime that I'm watching. And the first show to talk about is Boruto, episode 26, the Mizukages Successor. This episode, you had the Hidden Leaf Village kids. They're all in the Hidden Mist Village. They see that it's a little more advanced than they actually thought it was. Boruto fights the Mizukage Successor, which I believe he's a relative of the fourth Mizukage, who was a Jinchuriki. So I'm interested in this show. I'll keep updating you. And now it's time to move on to My Hero Academia, episode 23, Strip the Vanish. So this episode of My Hero Academia this episode of the show, you basically have everyone else finishes their exams. You get to see some of their strategy, and it was very cool to see some of the action in the show. I love this show. There's not much more to talk about, but next week's gonna be good because you got Deku and Bakuto. They're getting ready to fight All Might, so I'm looking forward to talking about this show a little more. Now it's time to move on to books. This is everything I'm reading. To be honest with you, I didn't read a page of Leia this week, so that's about it. I gotta start making a little more commitment to reading. I'm gonna try to either do 10 pages a night, and that way I can at least have 70 pages to talk to you guys about. But I'll talk more about it as the weeks go along. Alright, now it's time to end the show with the upcoming 7. This is everything coming out in theaters this week. And the first movie to talk about is The Mountain Between Us. This is a movie starring Kate Winslet and Idris Elba. This is a very interesting pairing. They're basically they take a plane. The plane crashes. They're in a mountain, and they're trying not to freeze to death. They're trying to stay alive. Civilization is so far away. This movie looks interesting. It looks interesting to watch. This movie could be really sappy. It could be really terrible. But I like Idris Elba and I like Kate Winslet, so I'm gonna give it a shot. All right, now to talk one more time about Blade Runner 2049. I am so looking forward to this movie. Main words is Harrison Ford's coming back. I love Harrison Ford. I hear he's amazing in this movie. And then also, I hear that then we also got to talk about Denis Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve, you talk about his movies Prisoners, Sicario, and Arrival. 3 freaking awesome movies. I cannot wait to see this movie. It's my second most anticipated movie of 2017. I cannot wait to see this movie. And that ends this week's episode of the Darth Easy Show. So guys, make sure if you want to keep supporting the podcast, make sure you go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube or go to iTunes, listen to it. If you're listening to iTunes, listen to this, give this video a like. That way, everything helps. It helps get this podcast growing, and maybe I can do some more. Also, I'll have a special announcement collaboration I'll be doing with Rainy Cage next year. I may talk about that next week. It depends. I think Rainy Cage is going to announce it on his podcast, which actually isn't a podcast anymore. So, guys, until next week, stay safe out there. It's a dangerous world we live in, and take care. Bye.
I got the blues sewn into my jacket sleeve. Got a goat skin full of wine. I got the hands, pretty lady, gonna make you grieve, and the loving gonna make you mine. So light the lantern above your door and hold your curtains wide. Take the ribbon from your hair and lay it by your side. And I ain't looking for a lie to believe. My own will do me fine. I got the hands, but a lady gonna make you grieve, and the loving gonna make you mine. I got the hands, but a lady gonna make you grieve, the loving gonna make you mine.